A protest. A protest. A protest. This is a protest. First and foremost. If they want these streets, they got to give in to these demands. We got solidarity, y'all. We here. And we ain't moving. We're not. We not. They want a little bit of street. They got to give us a little bit of justice. Point blank. No justice.
No streets.
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 If y'all have some questions, feel free to shoot the questions. But if you already went to press and you got the press release, then you have the demands. So if there are any pressing questions, we will take some of those. Any one of these lovely leaders behind me can answer questions, or anyone from the community if we don't have the answer. So we'll give you a few minutes, and then we got our young sister Vaughn here. I just want to share some encouraging words with y'all as well. So hold on, let's see if we got a question. How got questions? All right.
What has been the response from the community security about the shootings that have happened?
Say it loud, Marcia, so they can hear you in the back.
Ask that question again, sir.
What has been the community response to the shootings that have happened in terms of stopping those, or what is the response to them?
Which shootings are you referring to?
I believe it was a pregnant woman that was shot nearby here.
The response was immediate. Our medical team was on the scene immediately. If you didn't know, 612 MASH has been on the scene since day one. With licensed doctors, LPNs, RNs here 24 hours a day from the beginning of the uprising. So when anything that occurred in this zone that is a normal city issue, like unfortunate domestic violence, it wasn't EMS that was first on the scene. No, it was 612 MASH that was first on the scene. It's lamentable. I need you to understand that is not just some random thing. Lanisha was part of this community. My neighbor, her daughter, Lanisha was named after her. This isn't some random case. And a lot of people are thinking about shootings as if it's something that happens over there. Violence happens throughout the city. There was another case where the police refused to do their due diligence in the case of Damian Murphy Ranks Chambers. They showed up on Juneteenth, June 19th, the day of our liberation, and they refused to do their job. They compromised what should have been a crime scene. They refused to declare it a crime scene. They said, and I quote, that they were fearful of hostile crowds, but their actions impeded the appearance of EMS. And then when they went through the barricades, they decided, since it wasn't a crime that this black man was shot, to walk through the evidence that they refused to collect. I will tell you right now, the car in which he was shot was only collected 3 days ago. This crime happened June 19th. That is why the community insisted that 3 of the resolutions related to the case of Damian Murphy Ranks Chambers. We said release the death certificate. That family has been begging for a death certificate day after day after day. It took one meeting with the mayor to him to turn to his right hand and say, make it happen. And the family got it the next day, which means she could have been had. She could have been had. She could have been had.
Everybody welcome. We're here live on 38th in Chicago.
Any more questions?
Where do things stand with the city right now after we've had this meeting with them last week? Are they going to meet with you guys again? Is there anything scheduled?
Yes. The question was, where do things stand with the city, and will they meet with us again? Is there anything scheduled? Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. we have another negotiation meeting with the mayor.
Any other questions?
This is a press conference, just wrapping up. Sorry for going live here a little bit late on Facebook. I think we've been live on Facebook, YouTube, so check that out.
In solidarity and also in other issues regarding homelessness in the city, corruption in the city, police brutality in the city. Now that you have these channels to the city and the people in power, how would you like to engage those groups and ensure that their voice is heard as well, because these issues affect all of us, not just the Four Corners?
Absolutely. Okay. I will tell you, however, what one of our elders told me. They said, Janelle, get the people unified and fight for one thing at a time. Accomplish that and then move on to the next thing. Accomplish that and move on to the next thing. Accomplish that, move on to the next thing. So as we look at the list of these 24 demands, this is step one. This is resolution 001. There will be a resolution 002. There will be a resolution 003, 004.
They still want Chicago.
There are more streets. And I can tell you this, if there is something that is unjust in our city that is not on this list of demands, and that the people or the city officials see that is not on this list of demands, if the city officials dare to ask me to add it to that list, I will look them in the eye and say, if you see an injustice, you are morally obligated to address it. It does not need to be on a list. It does not need to be on a piece of paper to give somebody some justice. That is not okay. Next question.
What kind of support do you need in the next week?
I'm gonna let someone else answer that one.
Show up, yeah. And so we want to be very clear about this as well. We don't want to be that clear. But be very clear about this as well, that this fight, what we witnessed, can you all hear me? What we witnessed was something that we have witnessed multiple times. And we have to name that black and brown bodies are not safe. Y'all hear that? So to my white ally sisters and brothers, we need your bodies on the line. Don't tell us that you are ally in the beginning. But then as we begin to move and this thing begins to intensify, never mistake the missing feet on the ground, meaning the missing, that do not relate that to the fight has been won. There's more work to do. So what we need you to do is be persistent and be consistent in the way you show up. We need you to be able to speak truth to powers. We've been saying this for a long time. Right now, since I have your attention, listen to black leadership. Come on. And part two of that is trust black leadership. Woo! We cannot allow them to divide and conquer. We've all been placed in the casing called body for a reason. If you've been placed in the white body, then you have the opportunity to use your privilege to advance justice. So when you hear stuff like hold the perimeter, it is not to divide, it's to stand with us. When you hear directions, it's not to divide, it's giving directions to stand with us. And I want to be very clear about this. This happened in Minneapolis, but this is a worldwide movement. You've been positioned for such a time as this. Steward this moment well. Steward this moment well. What happened yesterday, we can't change. I take that back. What happened yesterday, we have to change. Woo! That's how you show up. Not just when the cameras is out, but show up consistently.
If people want to engage in the conversation about justice and they have something to say to the city, where do they come to engage in that conversation?
We got a meet on the street meeting. 8 a.m. every morning under the Speedway awning. 7 p.m. every evening under the Speedway awning. The community meets twice a day. Every day. Yo, it's been 77 days. Rain or shine,
There we go.
we here. If you want to know what's going on in the George Floyd Memorial Zone, if you have a question, a comment, a concern, you know where we're going to be every single day, 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Every single day, rain or shine. When you got folks down this street saying, we need to get a generator because winter coming. Yeah, we making plans. We will not be moved until we get something that looks like justice. Yo, it's Minnesota. You ever heard of the long goodbye? The Minnesota goodbye? Oh, we might be here for a while yet, don't you know? We might be here for a while yet, don't you know?
I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my people. And I want to talk to my oppressor. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to play chess and talk to my people, but I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go back to my chessboard. So, to my people.
Say it loud so they can hear you.
There's been times where I didn't love you enough. Didn't know the deepness that resided in your skin. Only that we were mere understandings as we cried in the dark over things that seem so petty now. That didn't coincide with your darkness the way your childhood friends and cousins teased you about your pigment, declaring that your melanin was outside the lines of gorgeousness. How we cried, not realizing that our minds was just conforming to the American way. How our minds believed that white was superior, how long it took to realize that Christ was black, and if God truly favored color, no way. Was it white? Rainbows are pretty. I've only seen them after a storm, and I wonder if my bloody history has made rainbows yet. If my ancestors have made rainbows yet. If I've made rainbows yet. I know that I create children who believe in black. Speak, America. Crushing my neck with your palms? You didn't know I could talk. Coughing up my blood, I can't let anything suppress me. You rather me swallow my tongue than hear me? Whitewash my history? Hear those trumpets play. 2 words, United States. Here's 24 shots to the face. I've roamed dark streets. I am the black street. Wiping my eyes, I've died a million times, been lashed for hundreds of years. I'm forced to acknowledge these binaries. I am beautiful. I am not the minority. Greatness is what I taste. No way am I what they say. Blood diamonds is what they made. I'm built for fucking pressure is what we say. Speak. I just want to love you, Africa. I just want to love you, black people. I'll show you power. Please just come with me. Black men, you are kings. As your queen, sister, wife, mother, I'll love you far better than conformity can. The way society don't. I seen them lock you up. I seen them shoot you down. I hear them tear you down. I seen them string you up. Black women, we are goddesses. Don't let nobody love you when it's convenient. Make that black man respect you. After all, he's here to protect you. America, crushing my neck with your palms? You didn't know I would talk. 2 words, United States. Here's 24 shots to the face. Speak.
Now enjoy 38 Reimagine, spin with these vendors, and connect with the community.
Thank you, guys.
So we were asked to itemize the expense of what we were asking for, and we also went and talked to some more of the black leaders and what we needed, and we added to the request with an addendum. And if you want the full list, it's going to be bit.ly/George Floyd Square, all lowercase, -A, all lowercase. bit-ly/George Floyd Square, -A, all lowercase. It will, at the bottom of the addendum, tell you the full amount to which the value of everything we're asking for is $155,862,400 for this community. Thank you. Over 10 years for the George Floyd Square and the George Floyd Square zone. Please look at the footnotes.
There you go.
You heard the mayor's budget address where he talked about there was a budget shortfall because of COVID. Yeah? Notice the similarity to the budget shortfall and our ask. Ours is over 10 years. Ours is less than the yearly budget of the Minneapolis Police Department. Woo! No justice, no streets. No justice,
No streets!
no justice,
No streets!
no justice,
No streets!
And let me be clear, we will hold it down in George Floyd Square. This place will continue to be occupied. But you see this right here? We got a lot of them made up. We will continue to march anywhere that needs to hear the name of George Floyd. If you sitting comfortable in your home, maybe we need to sit and settle in over there. I have heard the name of George Floyd night after night for over 78 days. Somebody else needs to hear it. So if we gotta go and plant this sign wherever they need to stand in solidarity for justice, you gonna be 38 in Chicago too. 38 Chicago. It is not about this intersection. It's about the injustice that this community has endured for years. It is not about a place. It's about progress. This city has an opportunity, with the world watching us, to just do right. That's not too much of an ask. Do right. Let this city show this state how to do it. Let the state show the country how to do this. Y'all have seen all the countries of the world shouting us out. This is for you, Minneapolis. This is for you, George Floyd. Athens, Paris, England, New Zealand, everywhere right now. But we've also seen Portland and Chicago. Y'all, this is a long march. The Freedom Summer wasn't 3 months, it was 7. The Montgomery boycott lasted over a year. We're not done. It's not over. The city owes this community. The state owes this community. The county owes this community. The country owes this community. We owe us. We owe us. Live up to this moment. We'll never get it again. Hopefully. Prayerfully.
There we go.
We better not get this again. Because we thought Jamar Clark, right? We thought Philando Castile, right? But it took a man lying prone on his stomach with his hands behind his back, screaming for his mama, for the world to see what's happening here. That was the light that shone across the world, and it has inspired the demands of justice. Yo, we got to show them how it's done. I believe in Minneapolis. I believe in us. We need justice.
Yes.
We need something that looks like justice on these streets. And until they are ready to deliver that, they're not getting these streets. They're not getting this street. No justice.
No streets!
No justice.
No streets!
No justice.
No streets!
Any questions?
Hello, everybody. What you saw was the ending of the press conference. press conference was by defenders of 38th Street here at the George Floyd Memorial Square. George Floyd was killed just a few steps away from where we are right now. Right over here. Again, thank you all for joining. Sorry you all missed the press conference. We will upload it to the internets after this, later this evening. So we'll take the stream down in a little bit. We'll give you all a quick tour. 38th Street is now basically under threat by the police and the city, who say they're going to come back and sort of reopen 38th Street. You see still a lot of the decorations are still adorning the area. There's vendors out here. There's these potted gardens that are out here on Chicago Ave, which has been renamed to Floyd Ave. You can see George Floyd Square is written up here as well. It's been there for 70-some days like that. It's pretty wild. We have the Minnesota freedom fighters out here providing a lot of security. Show you all some of this art real quick. Here's Regine the Queen. What a Weird Kid creates on Instagram. Oh, hey. How you doing? Good to meet you in person.
Good to see you in person. Yeah.
Cool. I still gotta get some of those magazines. I was thinking about that today. I gotta
What's
go
up,
pick up
boss?
like 5 or 10. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Not much, man.
Yeah?
Good to see you out here.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Just hit me up. I can show you some. I'll figure that out.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can catch them, I'll
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. Good to see you. It's like,
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How soon will your time be?
From this? We're live right now, but we didn't go live till afterwards. So I'll try to get it up tonight. I'm going to the Bob Kroll thing, and then after that I'll come home and I'll just whip it up.
Where would I find it?
I will put it on Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, and then we'll put the link on Twitter. I'll try to make a quick article about it on our website. Sweet, thank you. There's already requests to get the press conference footage. We will put it back up. Sorry we were not able to go live for it. We have to do back end work. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We have to do back end work, and the person running the back end is in South Africa, and their internet was tanking. Was that?
Rico?
Yep.
I'm Gabe's dad. Gabe Roderick. We met a while back.
Oh, cool. I'm live streaming right now, just a heads up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I just really wanted to say thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks.
watch you guys a lot. Appreciate what you've been doing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So you see, this is a pretty massive undertaking with this large garden in the middle of 38th. So essentially what you all missed was speeches that were talking about defending this area. So I'll give you a quick sort of synopsis as to what's been happening up here. Super not detailed, okay? The quick details I'll share are George Floyd was killed right up the street 70 plus days ago, 75, 76 days ago. After he was killed, you all know, sort of, there was an uprising. It was a couple days into the uprising, where maybe the second or third day, where the police rolled through this area with their tanks, with their SWAT truck, I think, and some other equipment, and rolled over the flowers that were here. After that, people put barricades. Those barricades have not come down. So basically they've changed. The barricades have changed. That's the barricades on East 38th in Chicago, off of Chicago. This is South Chicago, the barricades. Before, there were like concrete barricades and more more hardened, but now they've softened. But they've softened for a reason, you know, it's been so long. Also, there hasn't been any incursions of the police. Here's West 38th Street. And then if you go down Chicago, there's more. So the reason I bring that up is because that's the space. The space is also Cut Foods. Cut Foods is the people the store who called the police on George Floyd. They are actually reopened against the community's wishes. A lot of the community was hoping that they would not reopen. They are reopened, as you just saw somebody walking in there. So people are selling things. There was a free food up here continuously for many, many times, for many, many months. And right now we're at the point of people selling things. Some of these vendors very good, very good. Here's the pretty famous mural. We'll try to hook up an interview in a second to get some more interpretation of what happened. So basically, here's the other. I don't know if I showed you. This is some of the hard blockades, right? Concrete boulders or whatever they're called. So, Cup Foods just reopened last week, 2 weeks ago. The city has been talking about reopening the street. There is city council members around this area who sort of basically got voted in during these last few years of protest activity and progressive movements. Those folks are the ones that are pushing for the reopening of 38th Street, from my understanding, along with city officials. People are starting to question. Here's the Street Veterans Protection Agency. Hey, real quick, I haven't met you. But my name is Nico. Hello. I see you. And I heard you at the press conference, and I saw you during the cup thing. Okay. I'm live right now on Unicorn Ride. Is there a way I can grab an interview from you real quick? If not, no worries.
Yeah, how long is it going to be?
It can be 1 minute if you want.
Okay. Again, what time are you leaving? Now. Okay. Y'all fight and figure it out now.
No. Yeah, we'll do it.
Can we just do it in front of KMOJ?
We'll walk together. Okay. Can you don't have to introduce yourself if you don't want to, but if you do, that's cool. Can you talk about, because we went live, but we went live after it started. Can you sort of give a quick synopsis as to what the press conference is about and what the deal is coming up in this next week?
Yeah, and so actually the date has been pushed back. We were warned it's been about 2 weeks in the making that there have been conversations. There have been conversation about the streets reopening, a partial reopening, in which the partial reopening will look like 38th Street being reopened. And again, I just want to make sure that I speak to, when I walk and talk or whatever, that I speak to that, yes, there is a concern with, right behind you.
Thank you.
That there is a concern with the security in the area. And so we don't want to ignore that. We're not here for that. But what we are here is to focus why this area even exists. So the press conference today was talking about the 24 demands in which the community rallied together, met with the mayor, city officials, and they presented 24 demands. And in play, the demands before the opening of the street, the city, the community has been speaking on that for quite some time. Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, taking this space, the community has the space right now. They're saying maybe the city is saying a couple of weeks. Then you're saying?
The first date that we were giving was the week of August 17th. And so not a specific date. Since then, there was a release that was made yesterday saying that they are prolonging that. We have been given no further information.
And you think that's maybe from your meetings that you've had with them, putting pressure on them?
I believe so. And I can't just give a credit to myself by any means. We have sisters out here that's fighting as well. I believe the pressure is real because they understand that this thing is about justice. We definitely get it, and they have put us in a compromising decision to have to choose safety over justice. It shouldn't go down like that. And
then you all budget line item sort of the 23 or 24 demands that were had, and it's can you just quickly synopsis that? 155 million over 10 years?
Over 10 years. Alicia, which is the ED of Corcoran, can speak more to that specifically about the dollar amount which was asked for over the next decade.
You available for a quick interview?
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you. I'm live right now. You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
No, it's all good. I don't mind at all.
Okay, Red. Super thanks. Okay. So we went live after the press conference started. And so the viewers didn't really catch the full press conference.
Okay.
What I would like you to do, if you could, sort of quickly summarize it. Yeah, if you can.
Okay, well, so today what you all missed, just due to timing, was the community had a press conference today to say that we will not relinquish 38th Street, we won't relinquish Chicago Avenue, to the city of Minneapolis that so callously decided that they were going to run through a space of mourning for the black community, for the brown community, and for the world. The city just decided that business must return as usual, when that's just not the case. When you have a community bleeding out in the streets, and for you to imply that traffic must open up so that commerce must be made is insulting and hurtful and so many other things. And so today we held a press conference and talked about the demands of the community that the mayor and the city leadership had received earlier this week from the community. It isn't any one individual demand, it is a collection of needs and wants from this community saying these are the things that we need in order to move forward to heal. And it's just talking about the beginning steps. And so we're talking about merely $155 million over the course of 10 years, which is really not a huge amount of money when we're talking about the oppression and the systematic racism that has kept this community down from the beginning.
Yeah, thank you. So it seems like the political officials that are around this area also got voted in under progressive measures, right? Like Andrea Jenkins, Alonda Cano, even Jacob Fry.
Yeah.
And so what does this mean where the community is continually, after the biggest uprising in Minneapolis history, maybe the country, some of the country's biggest uprising. And so what does this mean that progressive leaders or officials are not even listening to the community at this point?
What it means is that the people who voted those folks into office can see that their elected leaders no longer regard them, and in fact have said that you're not important. I'm here. I will push my agenda, versus listening to the people that put them into office. And so what that reminds us is that our biggest source of power comes from the people, and that we have to be diligent about who we put into office. And right now, we as a community have to groom our next elected officials that know the agenda of the actual people.
Yeah, thank you. Can you just, so there's 23 or 24 demands?
There are 24 demands that we submitted to the city on behalf of this community. And for sure, we know that number 24 was immediately X'd off the table by the mayor, which was to hold this space until we got through the trial and conviction of the murderous police officers or former police officers that lynched Mr. Floyd.
Wow, so the trial is in March or something like that, set in March, and so they're saying, no, you cannot take this space for 6 more months.
The city is saying that they will not submit to keeping this space sacred for mourning of the world, but more importantly, the black community of Minneapolis.
Can you talk about maybe some of the other demands? What are the key demands within them, in your opinion? Obviously, all of them are really, important and key, but maybe some of the most key ones in your opinion that could be even done maybe soon.
So some of the ones that are many of these demands, when you look at the list, are extremely low-hanging fruit for our city. In fact, many of these things are already in place. They just lack actual support for them. And so some of the most important ones result and lean directly on our family of one of our community members that was murdered just down the street. That is about getting that family justice, to begin an investigation into that brother's murder, to release his death certificate so that his family may return him to his homeland for proper services and homegoing. That's simple. That is a literal human right that should not have been withheld, shouldn't have never needed to be on the list, but indeed it needed to be there.
So that's basically, some people have talked about the state using repressive measures or like going against the people because the people took this space, that the state then counteracted by not providing Murphy Ranks with, the support that he needed and his family with the support that they needed for the system that's set up for the investigation.
Oh, certainly. And we would have no other logical conclusion to draw from that than that actual one. And we know from the history of black folks in this country that has been done to us time and time again. So what would make us think that our oppressor would do anything different? Nothing. We would be fooling ourselves to think that they didn't know and intentionally engage in withholding justice for this family and withholding a proper investigation, or even pretending to do one would simply should have sufficed. But they didn't. They held on to the death certificate. They refused to collect evidence. They lied and said that the community denied EMS and first aid to this family, and that wasn't the case.
Real quick off of that, and thank you for that, because what I think you said was really important too, like, well, how do we ask the oppressor for something if we know maybe where the oppressor is coming from? When it comes to these demands, or even like the situation in the whole in this community, what's the way forward? Is it asking the politicians for something, or is it like you said, maybe grooming the next levels of politicians, or what's the next moves for this community to not have to maybe ask and maybe just have?
So, to be clear, we're not asking, we're actually taking, but we're being diplomatic in terms of how you do business and how you build coalition and community. So part of that is about saying, here are my needs. Here are my needs. Where can you meet me? And if you can't meet those things, then we have no room for negotiations. And so really it's about being diplomatic, but it is also about grooming the next leaders from our communities. We have the next mayor of Minneapolis in this community. We have the next president in this community. We have the next U.S. senator. We have the next House of Representatives. We have the next council president, and so on and so forth. They all live here. And so it's about a matter of grooming our folks to be prepared to take those positions, and about informing and arming our community with the knowledge and the power to know that we control how and who we put into office.
Thank you for that. Anything else you'd want to say?
No justice, no peace. We want justice. We want peace, not only for Mr. Floyd, but the countless other millions of black men and women that were murdered at the hands of the police.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah, hey, you want that? All right, so we just heard a synopsis. I'm going to check messages real quick. We got vendors out here selling things. Okay. What we did here, see the bit.ly link. Hey, the demands, what's the bit.ly link again?
I'll text it to you.
Okay, sweet. Can you say it to the audience too, if you remember it?
I gotta look it up too.
Okay. Once you look up
that thing is so hard.
Yeah, I think it was like bit.ly George Floyd -A for the addendum.
Okay, so it is bit.ly, bit.ly/George Floyd Square /A. That is the bit.ly link. So I'll say it again. bit.ly/George Floyd Square, all one word, -A. That's the bit.ly link.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And that's for the demands that they've crafted with the community. You see gardens here too. Give me another moment. I'll show you this garden while I look at some things. All right, so just for knowledge, Unicorn Riots will be covering. There's another thing. There's a lot of things happening today. One of the things is an action at Bob Kroll's. People are going to Bob Kroll's. Hey, you want to talk about real quick, in like a quick synopsis, why recall Mike Freeman?
He's the Hennepin County attorney. He's the one. He originally refused to press any charges against the cops that murdered George Floyd. It took Keith Ellison, the attorney general, to come in and force him to press those charges. He's been around for 20 years now. He's consistently put defending cops over defending the community, and even when the cops attack the community. So we're just trying to get rid of him, get somebody better in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's recallfreeman.org if you're in the local area. a bunch of more shirts. So they got the medic tent. They got a bunch of food going on. And here's the list of names. If you have not seen this, this is a massive list of names of folks that were killed by police. This is not everybody's, not an exhaustive list, but it is a lot of names. I'll give you all a quick, I'll go up on the side, give you all a walking tour, and then we'll take the stream down because we are going to get coverage from Bob Kroll action that's happening. Bob Kroll is the president of the Minneapolis Police Federation, so that's their union, and he's married to Liz Collin. Liz Collin is a WCCO anchor. People are going to Bob Kroll's house. I think they might be already there today, up in Hugo, with for a protest against Bob Kroll and against Liz Collin, who's a WCCO anchor who's married to the highest-ranking police officer. And people find that a conflict of interest. So you see some of the art. There's a ton of art up here. It's been an art renaissance in the city since the killing. The army is here. I know a lot of people had some issues with the army. Hey, thank you.
He took his phone. I got it. When you get back, I got it.
I know a lot of people have had some issues with the army being here, being part of the imperialist military regime, recruiting people at George Floyd protest site. Fox, what's up, man? How you doing? You're always out here doing your thing, man. Much respect.
Always.
Much respect. You want to say anything on the stream at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, freedom fighters are up here. Other folks are up here too, and basically this was a press conference where folks are talking about keeping the space and keeping the space sacred from the city running through it. What is your thoughts on that?
Man, I think that's really self-explanatory because we already know what they're going to do and how they're going to do it when they come through here. I don't know, man. Let these people grieve. Let the message be sent. You know what I mean? Just show some respect. I stand with these people. I'm pretty sure a lot of outsiders, they understand what's going on and why people want this memorial to stay standing. With the threats that's coming in, it's kind of like I said, it's a rhetorical question to ask why. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's the only comment I really got to make on that. You know, it's beautiful. Like,
Unicorns here! What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
How you been, bro?
Good. You?
I've been blessed. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm streaming right now. You okay with being
Are you
on?
streaming?
Yeah. Band-Aid.
It's me, huh? Hey. But yeah, we having fun, man. We out here protecting the community, building bonds and relationships with people in the South Side Minneapolis neighborhood. We're doing this for a few more Saturdays. We got vendors out here giving away free things just so they can get their business out here. No long guns today because we want people to know we're not about violence. We don't promote violence. We're for the community, by the community, and we're just here to have a good time and make everybody here feel comfortable.
What, you had some people talking about you're for violence or something?
No, some people just get the wrong image and the impression of what we do, and that's not what we do. What we promote is love and equality and justice in one nation. That's it.
That's true. Thank you, Band-Aid.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, what's up, Wolf? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Good. You've got your 6. So you got people's back out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, the entire community. That's what we stand for. We got y'all back. So I mean, any kind of injustice, any kind of uproar, anything, you see us there for a reason. Because we believe that our people should be able to move freely, celebrate freely, and even mourn freely, right? Without that fear of anything happening to them or anybody coming in and disturbing that. I mean, we're not for it. We're not here to allow it. We're here to stand up for our rights and stand up for each other.
And you're talking about this space too, and thank you for bringing that up. So, I know you've been up here multiple times. So what does it feel like up here for the energy in it, but also like the sacredness of it? What does it feel like to you?
Like, you know how like when you go and you chill with family and it's not your home but it's home. This is home to a lot of people, right? This is a big family here. All these people that you see out here got each other back. It's not just me having their back. They got my back as well. They're going to let me know if they see something. And, I mean, everybody as a collective is working together. And that's what we need as a people, to move as a unit. And the sooner that we can do that and get everybody everywhere to realize that that's what it's about, the sooner we'll actually see justice, right? Because right now they're going to try and give us bits and pieces of justice, but you got to ask yourself, what does a bit or a piece of justice look like? I've never seen it. It doesn't exist. It's either justice or it's not, right? It can't. What we're doing right now is we're trying to tip the scale. So, I mean, the people deserve to have a voice, and they've been strangled for so long and not been able to get any words out. And it's like now people are forced to hear. And that's a problem for a lot of people. But for everyone else, it's needed, and it's been needed for some time now. So we're just now getting there. I mean, but this is beautiful at the end of the day, right? The fact, when was the last time you were able to see, black people come together, or a community? It doesn't even have to be about race, but a community come together and be able to celebrate, and there not be any BS. And that's everyone's fears. Like, okay, we're going to get all these people together, and then something's going to happen. Not here. We're not keeping those vibes here. We're not dealing with those vibes. We're going to keep it peaceful. It's all about the love. The love going to win every time. The love is going to win every single time. It doesn't matter how much hate it is. All it takes is a little bit of love, because that love is going to outshine that hate every day. So, I mean, that's what we hear. That's what it's about. It's about the love. And when you look and you see, this is all love right here, Support and love. That's all you're seeing out here. No violence. Nobody tearing stuff up. We're not burning. We're not looting. We're supporting each other and building relationships as a community. And not just those relationships that go on, for this event, but these are, relationships that people are building that's going to go on well beyond this, right? And that's what it's about. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. That's what we want to see. I know you want to see it too. All your viewers want to see it. I mean, that's what we need. So that's where we at.
What has this last summer been like for you?
Oh, man. This last summer has been an entire lifetime in a summer. There's no way to explain that. It's been crazy. It's been heartfelt. I mean, it's been traumatizing, but it's also been full of love. And at the end of the day, that trumps all. That trumps everything. So I mean, that's really what it's been. It's been crazy though, man. I mean, I think I've been seeing you out 80 times. I've seen you this summer. It's been crazy.
What do you hope comes out, like next summer comes around? I know obviously the hope from the community is not another George Floyd, not another Terrence Franklin, not another Jamar Clark, not another, Breonna Taylor. What is your hope for next summer and how next summer rolls around?
So my hope for next summer is that it looks just like this without all the heartache in the morning, right? Because I mean, we don't need to be traumatized in order for us to come together, right? I mean, because at the end of the day, love is natural. Hate has to be taught. Love is natural. Hate has to be taught. So I mean, we do this, and what we're doing now is for our kids and for the future, so that they don't have to grow up dealing with the same thing that we had to deal with all our lives. Because I mean, it's not fair. Not fair to us. Not fair to them. Not fair to anybody. So I mean, that's what we don't want. We want this next summer to come around and we still be able to have our events and be able to get together and to be able to love each other in public, because we haven't been able to publicly love each other in so long. I mean, I think that's it. That's the biggest part, is that the love keep rolling.
Minnesota Freedom Fighters, are you all still doing your thing? And can you just talk about, obviously you're still doing your thing, you're here. Can you just talk about how that's been going and then how people can find out more information?
I mean, it's been going great. I mean, as far as like information, our Facebook page is always going to be the best place to go. It's always going to have the most current things there. But I mean, we deal with negativity, but anytime that you're doing something right, you're going to have negativity, right? But the love conquers it every time. It's to the point now where somebody might make a bad comment or something like that, and it's just like, that doesn't even matter, because you got 100 people coming to our defense without us having to say anything. It's because we're needed, right? It's a lot of people that's trying to say that we're not. But in reality, we are. Even if we're not doing anything, we're needed for the sake of security, a peace of mind in the community. And we've never had that as a unit. So for us to have that now, a lot of people fear it, and they look at it like, what's really going on. But at the end of the day, look, we're not here to hurt anybody. We're not here for anything negative. It's just all peace, love, and joy with us. every encounter that we have with somebody, whether they're doing something that they're supposed to be doing or not, it's always approached with peace and love, and that's it.
Thank you. Anything else you'd want to say?
Love thy neighbor. That's about it.
That's a bunch of love, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Wolf. Bringing me love too, and making me feel good. I love you too, man.
I know you and I love you, bro.
Right back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Appreciate your time, man.
No.
Here goes Justin, good independent journalist. What's up, man? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Jump in this right into his interview, man. Sorry, y'all.
Like you said, there are people that have been around.
So this is Freedom Fighters. You find out more about them on the internet. That is a crew of security helping the community. They're the community safety net. She got vendors out here. We'll take a quick tour. That was the side of West 38th Street. And then we got the middle of this corner, 38th in Chicago, the large garden. I forget the person's name who's running this, who's basically like giving the garden the love, but he's out here doing this thing all the time. And again, like I said, there is the South Barricade on Chicago Ave. We're gonna walk over to Murphy Rank's spot. So on June 19th, which is Juneteenth, we were down at a vigil at the Say Her Name ceremony, gravesite area, and that vigil, while we were down there, there were shots that rang out up here. Those shots were the killing shots of Murphy Ranks. We're gonna go to his vigil site right here. So there's a GoFundMe. He was murdered here June 19th. We heard a little bit about it. Some people say it was state retaliation, that the state was not investigating. You see this unsolved murder, GoFundMe Murphy Ranks. So yeah, if you want to support his family, which they're right here on this left side of us. I'm not gonna film them until I get permission to film them, but his family's trying to send him back to Jamaica. You see this pot here with flowers and stuff dedicated to him. Here he was right here. He's a pretty well-known person, especially on the South Side and in the music scene. Murphy Ranks. We interviewed Murphy about 2-3 months ago. Peace, y'all. Peace. Spreading my love to you all, to the fam. Can I film any of this? Yeah? You okay with that film? You okay if I film? All right, cool. So you see, this is the spot of Murphy. Peace, man, peace. Sending my love to you, man. You and the fans. Peace. We don't really have it cut up or anything, but I think it was June. I can't even tell y'all, but June 5th, maybe. We did interview Murphy Ranks. Hey, thank you. Hey, I wouldn't be out here if it weren't for people like you to be out here for. So we interviewed him the same day, I think. Peace, y'all. Interviewed him the same day as the chief. So I don't know if you all remember our coverage in the beginning of June. The chief of police walked up here, gave his respects, and we interviewed Murphy Ranks before the chief, like right before the chief. So So that was basically the south end. Here we got some very colorful African clothing. Some people are wrapping their stuff up. Some people are taking their stuff down. Some people are putting their stuff up. How you doing? Good. How are you? You see Isaac Aiden written. Isaac was killed last year by Bloomington and Eagan police. We have a lot of specials on Isaac Aiden if you want to check those out. We also have some more specials on Isaac Aiden upcoming. There was an action on July 2nd where police pushed on people. One of the police officers that was pushing on people was the primary negotiator in Isaac Aiden's case. Here again is the infamous George Floyd mural done by Zena Goldman. I don't want to mispronounce it. Cadex, Herrera, Greta McLean, Nico Alexander, and Maria Javier, as well as Pablo Helm Hernandez. Pablo Helm Hernandez. Sorry, artists, if I mispronounced your name. You all did an incredibly amazing job on this. I'll show you all another quick alley of art, and then we'll continue the quick tour, and then we'll take the stream down. There's action again, as I was saying, in Hugo, Minnesota, at Bob Crow's house. So we're going to try to catch some. Here you see an amazing, I don't know what the word is for number 5. Like, it's not a quartet, cinquette. You got Angela Davis, Huey Newton, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, he created the red, black, and green flag. He also had the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association. 6 million some people signed up to that. Anyways, Marcus Garvey created the red, black, and green flag, and the red, black, and green flag just had the 100-year anniversary, I think 2 days ago, August 13th, I believe. So that's pretty cool, little historical tidbit. Then we got, I think, Dick Gregory. I think, what's her name? And Malcolm X. I don't know how my history is now. Like, I can see her picture. Like, I can see what her name is, but I can't see the word letters. So, apologies. That's that. I think she created the school in Florida, Bethune. I think that might be Bethune. Mary McLeod Bethune. Here's Mike Brown. There's Breonna Taylor. You know, Mike Brown was just 5 years since Mike Brown. That's how Ferguson was had. So again, they have people basically manning every corner. The security was much more tight a while back, and now, after 70-some days, it's been more lax. There hasn't been police incursions in this area in that whole time, except for when Murphy Ranks was shot and killed. The police came in. We were live for some of that, so that was on June 19th and Juneteenth. It wasn't a Juneteenth vigil, but it was on June 19th. We'll bring you all down to the Say Her Name ceremony space, gravesite space. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
I know you're the one usually doing the interviews. You want to get interviewed briefly?
I'm live right now, but I could, after I'm done with this, I'm going to do a quick walk down to the Say Her Name ceremony place, and then I'll do a live.
Cool. I'll look out for you then.
All right, cool. And that's Justin. Where can people find your work?
The We Are One podcast is currently live on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, as they usually say in the business or whatever. Otherwise, I'm just Justin Gaiman. You might have seen me before if you were watching the live. A lot of people came to my page through you originally, so shout out you for just being that conduit to me to reach a broader audience. But Justin, last name is spelled Goeman, pronounced Gaiman. If you ain't registered to vote, I'll send you a link or URL or whatever. Whatever you need, hit me up.
Thanks,
all right,
Justin.
thank you.
The first day of the protests outside the police precinct, Justin got sort of really smashed by some officers in the neck with batons. And I don't know if you all remember that, but we will have more of the story from the precinct and from the George Floyd uprising in the coming weeks. We have edited day 1 and day 2. We're in the middle of editing day 3 and the rest of the days, and it's going to be a series probably that will be dropping in a couple weeks, and that series will be a few episodes, and the episodes will be our coverage of the George Floyd uprising, as well as possibly some other people's, but mostly ours. So it's not the full story, it's just part of the story. There's many stories to this uprising, and we do not know all of them as journalists. And also, I am only one part. I have only seen one part where I have been. There is so much more vast of a playing field for this specific uprising. You see, again, we're walking by the names of those killed by police. The names is an extensive list that's still not complete. See more art up here. The Saytools building. Marcus Golden here. The list just goes and goes and goes and goes. The Tatiana Jefferson, Amir Brooks, No Chase. We spoke to his mom a lot in the last couple years, Pamela Brooks. We're going to have a documentary called Mothers. Going to be releasing on our platform probably within a few months, spotlighting mothers who've lost their children to police killings. So every weekend, this is how it is sort of up here. There's a lot of people always, pretty much every day too, but mostly weekends there's more people. The vendors now that are selling things used to be vendors that were giving away things for free, because, or I should say, used to be volunteers that were giving away things for free, because there was so much support from the community. We'll bring you all down here real quick. Check out the space. It sounds like they have some kind of sound system going on, or somebody speaking. Sorry about the shakiness. I was plugging a cord in. Right in time for Delcia Perry. Delcia Perry is the mother of Hardell Sherrill, who died in Beltrami County.
Oh, my friends.
Oh no, this lady's working with Delcia. Delcia is right here.
Love compels us.
If you want to know more about Hardell's case, that's her son right there in the picture. Check out our website.
Jesus Christ loved
He died in jail. This seems to be a church.
to stand with my sisters here today and my brothers.
I don't want to record religious offerings too much. Sort of disrespectful sometimes. So we'll bring you all this coverage of this. The Say Their Names
Created in God's image and deserves to be
gravesite, or I can't remember specifically how you call it. But it's essentially headstones that are created
to step out
to show a bunch of names of those who have been killed by police or white supremacist vigilantes.
In John 17, he prayed for complete unity. And friends, we are one body. Scripture speaks on that when one part of the body hurts, the rest of the body hurts. And so, my friends, it's time. It's past time. It's far past time.
If you haven't seen this space,
stand together.
Check out our June 19th coverage.
To justice in the way that the sovereign power of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, would bring about justice and would bring the kingdom of God. Isaiah 61 talks about the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord. This is what the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord does. Brings good news to the poor, binds up broken hearts, sets the captives free, releases prisoners from darkness.
So it's about 60 plus.
Favor and the vengeance of God upon injustice. Comforts those who mourn. Bestows a crown of beauty instead of ashes, oil of joy for mourning, garment of praise instead of despair, that they would be called oaks of righteousness, a
Again, this is
planting
the
of
say
the
their
Lord for
names
the display
ceremony
of his splendor.
space.
And he would rebuild the ancient ruins. And Jesus Christ himself said this. This was one of the first, actually the first sermon he gave. And he said, "It has been fulfilled today." And this same Jesus Christ stood and said, "Anyone who's thirsty, come to me, and streams of living water will flow from within them." That is his spirit. And so his spirit is that same love that compels us. That
So,
spirit.
that's sort of the layout. What we heard when we were on the way here, and from this past couple weeks, was that the Minneapolis police and city officials were going to try to clear the sacred space from people and from any barricades or from any kind of objects, and allow traffic to go through this next week. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like they pushed it back another week, and then that pushback has also been, we're only going to reopen part of 38th Street. So it doesn't look like they're going to reopen Chicago Ave. They're just maybe trying to reopen the crossing on 38th Street. So that's basically the update, along with what you didn't see was the press conference. We'll try to bring you the press conference by uploading it to the internet. It'll be on our Facebook probably, our YouTube, and our Vimeo. And the full press conference just features a few speakers talking about the importance of holding this space, as well as talking about what the specific demands are. They have 24 demands, and those demands are all specific to this community. So, oh, I don't know if I ever met you. What's up, man? How you doing? Right. Good to meet you now. Yeah. Thank you.
And I liked his article on it. It was pretty
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, thank you.
How do you think it turned out in print?
Really good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people hopefully will see that.
Yeah, there was only like one thing, but I was like, this is amazing. Out of 1 hour, you brought everything down to what you did, and there was only one thing that maybe I misspoke on. I did get hit by a rubber bullet right up here, but that was the only thing. Like everything else was super on point, so I really commend you for that.
But I did talk about that.
It said like, I think it said that Nico said that they almost got hit, or they just missed it.
Okay.
But I might have misspoken on this.
Right.
Who knows? I'd have to look it up.
You
That was the only thing. Literally, that was the only thing out of however many words.
for a Purple Heart.
That's real. Hey, good to meet you. I'm still streaming. I'm going to bring the stream down in a second. So
Okay, good luck.
Otherwise, I would talk a little longer.
For sure, man.
Thank you. All right. So here's a thing that says stuff. So this is basically the history of this space, actually, what's written on here. So this was a stream from the press conference. Obviously, we didn't catch the whole press conference, so sorry about that. We will put it up after this. We're going to do a quick outro here. We're going to get off to Hugo, Minnesota, where a bunch of people are protesting outside of Bob Kroll's house. Bob Kroll is the president of Minneapolis Police Federation, and him and his wife works for WCCO. She's an anchor. So people have been calling that discrepancy out as just one of the minor issues, one of the major issues among a litany of others. There's 24 demands that the community has made. Those demands are demands to be met before clearing the space that leads to the sacred space of where George Floyd was killed. Again, we'll have a little bit more complex or a little bit more context to the situation in an article, and we'll try to bring you the full live stream at some point in this next day or two. So, or the full press conference, excuse me. So thank you all for joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We had Dan on the back end, and thank you, Dan. If you all don't know about our coverage, you can check us out at unicornriot.ninja. We are a nonprofit, independent, alternative media organization bringing context to social and environmental struggles. We are doing this out of the community's voice. Basically, we are trying to be the community's voice. We're trying to allow the community to have a platform on Unicorn Riot. And so thank you all for the trust to allow us to happen, to allow that to happen. And thank you all for viewing, because that means everything. So if you have the financial privilege and you like our work, don't feel shy to become a micro-monthly donor. That helps us budget. We've got, what's up, man? Thank you. We've got a lot of recent support, and thank you so much for that. We're going to be utilizing that in great ways, so be prepared for good things to come continuously from Unicorn Riot. Even as a small organization, we have a lot more media coming out and a lot more media to talk about. So thank you all again. We're going to take the stream down. Peace. Have a good day. We will probably be up again outside of Bob Kroll's house, possibly this afternoon. Be aware for the full press conference a little bit later tonight or tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Have a good Saturday.